All right, man. Now we're gonna react to DJ Akademiks reacting to Drake and Bobby Alphaloffathon.
Let's go watch this Drake interview. Y'all want to watch this Drake interview? Yes or no? Drake, Bobby, Athloff. This is the only way we're gonna get some answers out of Drake, right?
Athloff.
Keep looking at it.
Okay. Y'all want to watch this? You ready? We ready, chat? We ready? I'll speed it up. Playback speed 1.25. Let's go.
I know.
I kind of want to skip like the first little part of it because they're talking about nothing and they're talking about this beef that they had. Respectfully, I don't give a fuck about the beef that they had. I've told y'all my opinion. I think that Drake only agreed to do this. I'm thinking, I have no other outside information. I think Drake is involved in the company that's producing it. He has some type of equity or something of the sort. There's a business play here for Drake. And yeah, he likes the outlet. He does. So I want to skip past this and I want to get to when there's actually some questions that we could actually talk about. By the way, this is a satirical, kind of dry, sarcastic interview in a way. So it's hard to kind of really know if someone's serious, but we could probably parse some things from it. Here we go.
On our way to the hotel, and then we're like, can you stop at the stores? And
I paint them like yellow or something because.
Okay. So he starts talking about his nails. And I guess for the people who want to know why Drake paints his nails, here's the answer.
Do you want to start?
Sure.
Why did you hate me for so long?
Well,
you can have a drink first. Yeah, I think that's necessary before we get into the.
Trying to have my nails.
So you don't have to. It's fine.
Yours aren't that great either.
They needed to be redone, but nothing's open.
They're a little thick around the edges, but
Okay, thank you. I don't know why you would know that.
I get my nails done.
Okay.
You know what a big thing was when I started getting my nails done. I think the first thing I did was I painted them like yellow or something because I was like, oh, I'm gonna start getting manicures and like start like doing like getting my nails nice. And then people are gonna say things, and then I was like, you know what? I had 3 really really important stages in my life. One was getting braids. I was like, oh, people are gonna be like, he's getting braids, like midlife crisis braids.
Have you not always had?
Like this interview is like, by the way, I think this interview is a satirical play. So for people who want real answers, you're gonna have to really pull to really get real answers from this. But the idea, Drake said he had 3 important stages. One's getting braids.
Have them?
No.
I've never known you to not have them.
Well, that's because you know absolutely nothing about me and pay 0 attention. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Lexi, who's way younger than you, knows that I haven't had braids for my entire life, right? Yeah, Lexi's great. I love Lexi.
I do too.
But I have not had braids for my entire life. And then I got a face tat, and I was like, oh,
what is
midlife
that?
crisis face tat. They're gonna say.
What is that of?
My mom's initials.
What are they?
SG. Sandra Gale.
That's cute.
So I was like, oh.
What'd your mom think of that?
She's rowdy. She's a rowdy lady. So she actually got yadded up right after.
Good for her.
Yeah, she got a fucking super yad on her arm.
Amazing. What's the third thing?
She got yadded down.
Nails. Hair.
The third thing was the nails. I was like, oh, you know, I was like,
tattoo, hair, nails.
I was hanging out with Yadi, and like, I was like, fuck, man, I bite my nails like a lot. I'm like, I want like nice nails. And he had nice nails. I was like, and he was like doing wild shit. Like he would have them like painted and stuff, but he'd have like French manicures and all this shit. And I'd be like, it's such a nice trait, like just to reach for something and see like nice nails. And then, but I was like, but I just went for it. I remember like I think I painted them like yellow and blue, and I'm like, I want somebody to say something negative to me about it, so I can just like, it's like I dare you to say anything about these fucking nails. Not on the internet, I just mean like in person. I was like, I hope somebody just gets active.
Did anyone say something?
No, they didn't.
Just me?
No, just you right now. How ugly they are. Not, like,
yeah.
And damaged they are, by the way.
They're rough.
Shout out to Vic. Vic does a great job on my nails. She just hasn't been around lately.
Out
get to your mom.
Good. You needed that.
It's like, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Stupid.
And I guess this is part of me giving my opinion on this full interview. This interview's a skit. I think Drake did this to piss off the haters and piss off people who don't like him. Because some of the stuff he's saying, if you care about like certain things too much, you're gonna be upset. Like, what the fuck is Drake saying? He's talking about his nails. And by the way, like, there's kind of an answer there. Like, hey, I started getting my nails done because I used to buy my nails. All right, I guess that's the answer. But
I guess
the rest of the shit that you hear is like
just stupid.
To me, it's like it feels like Drake is rage baiting. Because I feel like he's almost saying things that the purest niggas is like, what? What? And like, for someone like me, I'm like,
stupid.
Am I into nail painting? No. I'll say that right now. No. But I feel like Drake is emphasizing this on an interview that he's doing when he's probably the person, along with Kendrick, that we have the most questions about real things about in entertainment in the last year or so. Yeah, I think he's trolling us. Now, could you handle a troll and be like, all right, whatever? Or do you get mad because of the troll? For me, I'm like, this nigga's like an actor, bro.
Let's talk about us.
Why you hated me.
Why
completely got sidetracked right now.
I never hated.
No, I will not get my nails done.
Did you? Bob?
Okay.
I never hated you. Mm-hmm. You came around at an interesting time in your life.
Yeah.
And I think that I like what your eyes see.
Autotune. So I was like, oh my gosh. Probably. Because it'll make more sense why. I swear I could still hear you and there was a message on my.
Okay.
I know, but I think like I have like a hair trigger for that in my life where I kind of I don't necessarily take well to like me sharing like positive experiences with.
Yo, Drake's trolling. And what I mean by trolling, I just clicked on this random part of the video. I can show you. It's random. And you could clearly tell he's not really trying to say shit. He's trolling, bro. Drake is fucking, like, he's trying to find every word to not say an actual answer. And that's why I'm like, for everybody in hip-hop media that's mad, bro, like, I feel like he just did like a skit. This is like a Saturday Night Live type.
It's corny, bro.
Except it's a podcast. This is Saturday Night Live skit in a podcast format.
Honestly, my life changed so much after that. I got mad at you one time, blamed you a little bit.
I know, but I think like I have like a hair trigger for that in my life where I kind of I don't necessarily take well to like me sharing like positive experiences with people, and then when things like are heavy for them, like almost like having to sort of take a, I guess that's a little too specific. What I'm really trying to say is like I feel
he's trolling, bro. He just said the vaguest shit in history and said that's too specific. Like, yo, he's trolling. I'm telling you, this guy got a sense of humor. He's trolling. Also, let me give this message to media, okay? And really, yo, niggas like Elliot Wilson and shit like that, bro. He does interviews like this to fucking violate child existence, bro. Like, cause I don't give a fuck about, like, I'm not like, I do look at it. This girl, I just don't think she's talented. But Drake doing this is like, Drake could have just did a skit on Instagram to me. Specifically, I'll say this. Well, actually, let me just play a little bit.
I feel like I'm not necessarily a part of a problem.
Oh, actually, I forgot what I said, or I forgot what I was trying to say. I'll tell you now. Yo, hip hop media. This is why I think all y'all niggas is like bitch ass niggas. Well, I don't think all y'all. I actually don't. For any nigga who complain about Drake in interviews, let me say this. Here's my number one rule. This ain't a Drake rule. This is everybody rule. I don't give a fuck if you talk to me. When you don't talk to me, I'm gonna tell the world what I think, and what I think becomes the truth. Fuck what you gotta say. Why the fuck I wanna talk to you? I'm gonna make it up. And when I say make it up, not make up a lie. What I hear confidentially, I will present that to the world, and you will have no way to respond to it. So if I heard that Drake was a hermaphrodite, and say Drake wouldn't talk to me, yo, I heard that nigga's a hermaphrodite. I keep saying it 3 million times. I'm glad when you don't talk. You know why? That's the truth now. Fuck it. So for the people, like, Drake is trolling. He's not doing an interview. This is not an interview. He's trolling. Don't get mad at it. What the fuck? Like, if you need Drake to make your content, you ain't talented. Like, Drake don't want to talk to you. He don't talk to you, me, nobody. You don't talk. Shut up. Go do some other shit or get some opinions that people could care about. That's it. But to me, you got to look at this. This is entertainment. This is comedic, if you ask me.
And
There was nothing entertaining. There was nothing comical about this. It was boring. Just like episode 3 of Iceman. Like, Akademiks is trying to give him a way out of this, but it's just corny, man. Trolling at almost 40 years old in the position that he's in is like, grow up, man.
I experienced a lot of guilt tripping in my life where people are like, no, like this is like your fault essentially, or like, and my intentions are pure, you know, like.
He kind of looks a little bit serious here. His eyes look a little like, you know, like when you're like sincere.
It's the same way, even in music, people will be like, oh, like, oh, you're a culture vulture, or like you.
Oh, maybe he's addressing some serious. Oh.
You know, like people will describe the collaborative efforts that I've put forth and the artists that I've picked up and lifted up, or shine a light on as me taking. You know, they'll put a negative spin on it and try and tell me, you know, that it's a self-serving thing or whatever. And I think I get really sensitive about that. And I think at that moment I was just like, well, you know what? Then don't even worry about it. And so I was extremely short.
Never mind. I thought he was trolling the whole time. No, I think this is a serious answer. Oh wow. Okay. All right. My bad. He turned what I thought was gonna be a complete like satirical act into him having some real answers, just really coded in a vague way. Here we go.
They'll put a negative spin on it and try and tell me, you know, that it's a self-serving thing or whatever. And I think I get really sensitive about that. And I think at that moment I was just like, well, you know what? Then don't even worry about it. And so I was extremely short. And then afterwards I was just really, really snappy. And yeah, I don't think I put myself in your shoes. And I think I wrote you a really, really tough message one time about like being yourself, and like afterwards about just like, it wasn't intended to be rude. I just was like, you're my friend and I'm going to be hard on you. And I just like want you to like not get lost in the sauce, because I really do feel like, and people ask, oh, why are you here doing this again? Like, what's the point? Like, even on the way up here, like, my boy was like, why are you doing this again? And I was like, well, what we did.
Wait, who said ask him?
People ask, like, oh, why are you here doing this again? Like, what's the point? Like, even on the way up here, like, my boy was like, why are you doing this again?
Oh, his boy.
And I was like, well, what we did, like, it changed a lot of things for a lot of people. It was me essentially, like, just recognizing somebody that I never met in my life, that I fully believed in, that I thought was really interesting, I wanted to have an interesting conversation with. It pissed off, like, so many, like, all these fucking losers, these, like, you know, like, story journalists, and like this guy and that guy who like feels so entitled to this interview about, and Drake never does anything for like this type of media.
Yo, Drake really hates that Rob Markman and Elliot Wilson nigga, bro. Jesus Christ. You talking about them? Because who else be acting like they entitled to some shit? Drake hate them niggas, bro. I told you, Drake just really dislike them niggas.
It just like made people so angry that two people who actually like have just like maybe nothing to talk about or everything to talk about, but just based on like random energy could come together. I think it changed a lot of things. It changed a lot of things like on TikTok. It changed a lot of things like in the streaming world. Like it made people more comfortable to go sit down with somebody that they've never sat down with before. You know, like not to take like overly take credit, but when I do see like somebody, you know, who keeps to themselves like a Nicki Minaj, like go to like Kai Cenat's house, or like I see, you know, these musicians go to like a guy like Blackboy Max's studio and start making songs with him. Like I feel like we did usher in the idea of just like you can be from two completely different walks of life. Celebrities are not.
Hey, Drake, cut the fuckery, bro.
Thank you.
So, Drake, you know you my man, but cut the fuckery, bro.
Thank you.
Bro, this is super satirical, as I said. And by the way, you know, I'm one of the people you definitely know. I have never had no gripes about Drake not doing an interview, especially with me. Like, I never even asked him one. Drake, respectfully, what you're doing here is very different than Nicki on Kai Cenat.
Thank you.
And whoever on
Thank
Black
you.
Boy Max.
Come
Right?
on, man.
Like,
Stop.
This is a clip that is curated and very controlled and contrived and meant to be satirical versus what they're doing is live. Like, they're popping up there. And even though, yeah, it might not be an interview, but like it's this live interaction where anything can go on, right? That's number one. Number two, like Kai Cenat and Blackboy Max, again, you might differ in opinion about how much hip hop they are, either of them are, but these people understand culture. Like the reason why I keep saying Bobby Athloff is an act, because I've seen this chick I've seen her with Sexy Red and all of these black people, and her shtick is still like she doesn't know black culture. That's why I'm saying this is a act. This is SNL. The chick has let me not say exploited like some bad thing. She's been around all her views come from niggas. And talking to rappers like Offset, you, Lil Yachty, and I don't care how culture Drake think he is, you're a nigga. Her views comes from that. And she's been doing this for 2 years and she still acts ditzy. Like, oh, I don't know. It's an act. I get it. It's a shtick. It's the funny Marco thing just done differently. I get it. But the idea that it could be compared to what Max is doing or Kai Cenat, someone who is not basically being a caricature of themselves, is very different. And that's where I would say the comparison to say, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think that Drake and Bobby Athloff influenced anyone.
Thank you.
Except for content that would look like what Funny Marco does. And I don't think nobody does that.
Facts.
I don't think streaming is that. I think if you go on Kai Cenat's stream, you're not doing a sarcastic, satirical, you act like you don't know what's going on, and that's not what's happening.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Exactly.
So I would very much disagree if he actually believes that. But this, you know, I see some people in the chat say this might be a joke as well, and that's the thing. Most of this interview might just be all satirical. So like, it's one of those like, aha, we got you. You're taking it serious. It's not supposed to be that. But respectfully, if that was a real opinion, Drake and Bobby Athloff has not inspired nothing in the streaming world.
Facts.
Let's be honest.
Facts.
I would more say maybe you talking to like Aiden or something, or you gambling or something like that. But even then, that didn't come before some other people. So this, no.
Facts.
But this is a format. This is a format which, again, I always told people when I started doing One Shot Racket, it was sad.
And that's the same thing I said. I'm like, Drake, stop. You didn't start this. Like, what you doing and what Kai Cenat doing is two different things. Like, stop. So I definitely was on this.
Satire. When I watch this is an attempt at satire.
Here that we're not like, the goal is not to be like some unattainable dickhead for your whole life, you know, and only to like sit with Zane Lowe while he like asks you like the most like curated and formal questions. No, just
now I also agree with what Drake is saying here. I think the old school mentality of sitting with a Zane Lowe is out. Nobody want to like them type of formal like oh blah blah is out. But the only part I kind of it's not as like this formal thing with Zane Lowe, but it's not as like organic. I'm talking about Bobby Athloff link up. It's not as organic as going to Kai's house. Like going to Kai's house, even if y'all have pre-recorded or not pre-recorded, but like conversations before, it always is going to be like this factor, right?
Respect to him, you know. Like, but it's just like I think we did something that was special.
Yeah.
And
they did do a very interesting interview. I won't lie. And
I was proud of what we did. And then when you didn't like when I felt like it caused any like bump in the road in your life, it just hurt me because I was like, fuck, I just can't get it right, you know.
Yeah.
Plus,
I
got that night.
That was really the big reason.
Can I get another rosé?
The must be one. I do feel like.
I mean,
the biggest bump in my road was after that though.
I am the biggest bump in your road, huh?
I don't know what you're trying to imply with that, but yes, that was.
That sounded crazy.
I'm just saying it was like after that, it was like pretty hard. I was like, people were like, oh,
yeah,
how could you like put her on and then take her off right after?
Why would take you off?
But that's kind of how people saw it. That's how people saw it. Was that I had so many interviews lined up where afterwards, once you unfollowed me, blocked me, everything, it was just pulled, and I was like, oh god, it was like such a.
It was just like what, Ben Affleck or something? Who? No, Ben. Who? I don't know. I was like.
No, there was ones that I had when I would meet that were scheduled back in the day, right after, and they pulled right out.
Calling everybody.
I'm sure you were. I'm sure you were.
Don't you?
Well, you did not. Don't even say that and make people think you did that. You wouldn't do that. That's evil. But you did. You doing that was like you removing your like.
Cosign.
Yeah, of me, I guess. And people were like, why would I? If he doesn't even fuck with her, I'm not going to. And it was like pretty hard after that to like try to figure out how to make my way in the world without like.
again, this is satirical. So he who watches this interview and gets in their feelings, you're gonna look dumb because it's all satirical. But this is kind of an interesting thing. She's like, yo, Drake, after you stopped co-signing me, I just couldn't podcast anymore. Oh, okay, that's like problems we all don't have. We all got to figure out a way to podcast and survive when Drake never get. Again, I think this is all satirical. You can't take this shit serious.
with like
All right, so we're going to end it off right there. We're going to pick up with another video right here. But DJ Akademiks definitely calling cap on Drake in this bullshit ass interview.